Y'all called it. Y'all were warning me. Y'all were really trying to prepare me when I was failing to emotionally prepare myself. And despite all of your best efforts, I still didn't believe you guys. I didn't want to believe you guys that the end for Marva was near. At least it was surprisingly quick. Still painful, but a little more painless than I thought it would be. I mean, we obviously know that Cassian goes into Rogue One lecturing Jin about how he has lost everything, and, you know, I should have known that Marva would be included in that sooner than later. For as much as I failed to prepare myself, the title of tonight's episode certainly was the final warning. It was like, look, if you've been in denial, here's your last chance to get your together. I gotta give it to Diego Luna. I mean, as tragic as this was and as upsetting as it is, he freaking delivered. What a phenomenal performance. I mean, to have to learn about your mother's death the way that he did and then keep it together and act like everything is so contained. I mean, I feel like you could see the tornado within him, the tornado of just despair at that news, and then 2 seconds later rally with Melshi and pretend nothing's going on. How heartbreaking is that parallel? Him staring out over the ocean at the horizon after the news of his mother's death. Fast forward a couple years from now, and that's the final thing that he sees right before his death. I said it last week. I will freaking say it again. I hope these writers are getting paid freaking well for the amount of pain that they are able to cause.
You can't keep getting away with it!
This shouldn't be possible. It shouldn't be humanly possible, but here we are. They do it. They bring it. They bring it every week. This episode, everything's crumbling. Everything's crumbling. I should have expected this. I should have anticipated this better. I didn't anticipate freaking anything. Tonight was a stark reminder that we have literally been on eggshells the entirety of this show. Like I've said every freaking week, the stakes are raised, tensions are incredibly freaking high, and tonight was a reminder that things are slowly starting to crumble underneath all of our heroes here in freaking everybody's situation. Obviously Marva, Luthen freaking dodging arrest. That certainly wouldn't have ended well for him. That was a goat moment for him, though. We've seen demonstrations, obviously, of how witty he is, how smart he is, you know, kind of how well-versed he is in this whole lifestyle of keeping it together, keeping a low profile, living a double life, and avoiding getting caught by the Empire at all costs. But this was a very close brush with the law, probably too close for his comfort, but we at least got to see him and proven why he's the GOAT, proven why he is Axis, and maneuvering himself out of there. But I'm sure that was probably his closest brush with the law, because the Empire is on such high alert, and you know, he happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. So I am curious if there's going to be a fallout from this, but he had to kill 2 TIE fighters in the process, and that can't be good. He kind of, in a way, you know, blew his cover a little bit there. But I do love that, coming off of last week's monologue in which he's detailing very dramatically and almost kind of how grim his life has become because of everything that he has sacrificed and what he has forsaken in order to fight for this cause that he might never get recognition for down the line. Coming off of that, you know, he was like the GOAT last week. He's still the GOAT this week. His true colors have kind of been revealed as he shows the lengths that he's willing to go to and the lives he is willing to sacrifice. If it's for the cause, you know, that's kind of what is on the front burner for him. That is more important than human life. So I do appreciate that his compassion came out in this episode in his interaction with Saw. I don't think he didn't necessarily have to give Saw this warning either, but he took a huge leap and took quite the risk in revealing this information to Saw, because it's clear that he didn't want him to go down with Anton Krieger's men, and whether it is for self-serving and selfish motivations too, like, you know, there is like sort of competition and tension between the two of them, but it's only because they are liabilities for each other, as is made clear when Saul realizes, like, you're only kind of helping me because if I end up going and get caught up in this, it makes you vulnerable. Yes, there could be some self-serving motivations in there, but I would like to think that there's some compassion in there, especially coming off of, like I said, the statements he made last week and how he does live a life pretty much with no compassion and with no, moral compass, essentially. I don't know. I would like to think that there was some care behind his warning and that it wasn't 100% coming from a place of self-serving, motivations. I wish this wasn't gonna be the end here, and I wish that there was more Saw in this show, because you could tell that kicked him into high gear, and I am curious to see what he's going to do now in retaliation, and if it will perhaps somehow tie into the extremist behavior that eventually leads the rest of the rebellion to sever ties with him because he has gone too far. That is something that I've been wanting to see from this show. Will it necessarily happen in this season? I'm not sure, but this could be good seeds for what is to come as we start to see more heightened circumstances for the rebels now that it is kind of approaching a warlike tension between the two groups, the Empire and the Rebellion. Everything's kind of crumbling down a little bit on top of everybody. We had Luth in there and of course Mon Mothma. The stakes are equally high for everybody, but they are all in separate forms of danger, which Mon Mothma's situation is equally horrifying, and I've been saying this the whole time, but Genevieve truly is like stealing this show, and her performance in tonight's episode and her exchange with Vel to convey how deep she is in, and the hammer is right about to come down on her too. She does have a family, she has a political reputation, she is in the limelight, and seeing her truly realize the severity of her current situation right now and only being able to vent about it to Vel is truly, she did a phenomenal job. Everyone is at risk in different ways, but it's still scary. Everyone is in scary situations. The rebels got beat down a little bit in this episode, and the Empire is starting to win. They have this funeral now for Marva. It's the bait they've been waiting for, that to lure Cassian. He's not going to be able to stay away, knowing the funerary traditions, I'm sure. I don't see things ending well, though, necessarily for everybody. We only have one episode left. I can't truly imagine right now a scenario in which the rebels come out of this in great shape for the finale. I don't know. Everyone's a little bit in shambles right now. Going into the finale, everyone is extremely freaking vulnerable. The rebels are kind of poised in an unfavorable position right now, so let me know what you guys think, if you've got any predictions. Gosh, I'm gonna be so upset when this is over. This show has just been freaking phenomenal, and I can only hope that the finale delivers and is a great kind of cap on what has been a freaking successful first season. But yes, that's gonna be it for me tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching. May the force be with you guys always, and I will see you guys again very, very soon. Bye, guys.